Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, we're learning Guidewire PolicyCenter step by step, starting from the fundamentals and gradually moving into real PolicyCenter concepts and workflows. In the previous lessons, we looked at the basics of PolicyCenter and understood how it fits into the insurance business. Now, in today's lesson, we're going one step further. We're going to understand something that is extremely important before you start working with PolicyCenter transactions, and that is the policy lifecycle. Now, when we say policy lifecycle, we're simply talking about the journey of a policy. A policy doesn't just get created and stay exactly the same forever. It can be changed. It can be renewed. It can be canceled. It can sometimes be reinstated or rewritten. And for certain lines of business, it can also go through a premium audit. So, in this lesson, we're going to understand what each of these transactions means when it is used and how they are connected to each other. And don't worry if this diagram looks a little complicated at first. We're going to break it down step by step. I'll take one simple example and we'll follow that policy throughout its journey. By the end of this lesson, when you see terms like submission, policy change, renewal, cancellation, reinstatement, rewrite, and premium audit, you should be able to immediately understand what is happening to the policy and why that transaction is being used. So, let's get started. All right. Before we jump into the individual transactions, let's first understand the big picture. Take a look at this diagram. At first, don't try to read everything. Just look at the overall flow. All right. Now we start with submission. And from there, the policy can go through different transactions during its lifetime. So let's start from the beginning. How does a policy actually get created? That's where our first transaction comes in. Submission. Now, let's start with the first transaction. Let's take a simple example. Imagine I'm an insurance agent. A customer walks into my office and says, "I just bought a new car, and I need insurance." At this point, the customer doesn't have a policy with us. The customer is looking for insurance. So what do? I collect the required information, the customer's details, the vehicle information, the driver information, the coverage requirements, and I enter all of that information into PolicyCenter. That becomes the submission. The submission is used to qualify the policy candidate and generate one or more quotes. And if the customer accepts the terms, the submission can move forward toward binding and issuing the policy. So, in PolicyCenter, the submission transaction is the policy transaction that creates a new policy. The submission transaction is used to qualify policy candidates, generate quotes, and bind and issue a new contract if the applicant accepts the terms. A submission may not result in a policy being issued because the applicant may not qualify, or the quote may not be acceptable to the applicant. So, if you remember only one thing about submission, remember this. Submission is equals to creates a new policy. Now let's say the customer accepts the quote. The submission can be bound. But here's something beginners sometimes miss. Bind and issue don't necessarily happen at the same time. A submission can be bound without immediately being issued. For example, maybe some additional information needs to be collected before the final policy documents are issued. Once everything is ready, the policy can be issued. So the simple flow is submission, then bind and issue the policy. And now we have our policy. Now let's move forward 6 months. Our customer calls the insurance company again. He says, "I bought another car. I want to add it to my policy." Now, should we create a completely new policy? The answer is no. We already have an existing policy. We need to modify that policy. And that's where policy change comes in. A policy change is used to make material changes to an existing policy before its expiration date. For example, we might add or remove a vehicle. We might change a coverage. Or we might modify other policy information. Look at the diagram. You can see the original policy period and the change that creates the updated policy information. So, the easiest way to remember policy change is take existing policy, then make change and update the policy. And this is something you'll definitely see in real Guidewire projects. Now let's move forward another year. The customer's policy is approaching its expiration date, but the customer still wants insurance. What happens now? We don't necessarily start from the beginning. Instead, the policy can go through a renewal. A renewal extends the policy into a new policy term. Look at the diagram. We have the original policy term here. Then we reach the expiration date. And if the policy is renewed, we move into the renewal term. So think of renewal as like this: current term, then renewal and new term. But what if the policy isn't renewed? Then the policy simply reaches its expiration date and ends. That's the basic idea behind renewal. Now let's take a different situation. What if the policy needs to end before its normal expiration date? That's where cancellation comes in. For example, our customer sells the car and no longer needs the insurance. The customer can request cancellation. There can also be situations where the insurer initiates cancellation based on the applicable business rules. Look at this timeline. Normally, the policy would continue until the expiration date, but cancellation happens before that. So remember the difference. Expiration means the policy reaches its normal end date. Cancellation means the policy ends earlier. That's the key difference. All right, let's jump into another part of the policy lifecycle. Now, let's say the policy was canceled because of an issue such as overdue premium. Later, the issue is corrected. The customer pays the overdue amount, and the insurer agrees to restore the policy. Do we create a brand new policy? No. We use reinstatement. Reinstatement restores the canceled policy. And there's one important point shown in this diagram. The reinstatement date must be the same as the cancellation effective date so that there is no lapse in coverage. So just remember this: canceled policy, then reinstatement and restored policy. Now, let's look at rewrite. This is different from a normal policy change. Imagine the policy contains significant errors, or there are changes that cannot be handled through a normal policy change. Instead of simply modifying the policy, the insurer may need to create a new policy from the existing one. That's a rewrite. There are two main types shown here. Rewrite new term, which replaces the entire original term, and rewrite remainder of term, which replaces only part of the original term. I will explain and show how TI create and work on these transcations in PolicyCenter in upcoming sessions. And finally, let's talk about Premium Audit. This is especially relevant for policies where the premium is based on information that can change during the policy term. For example, in workers' compensation, premium can be based on payroll. The payroll may initially be estimated, but later the insurer can obtain actual information. Look at the diagram. You can see premium reports happening during the policy term. Some may be based on estimated information. Later reports can use actual information. And finally, there can be a final audit. The purpose is to verify the information and determine the appropriate premium. Now let's put everything together. Our customer starts by requesting insurance. That begins with a submission. The policy is then bound and issued. During the policy term, the customer may need a policy change. When the term approaches expiration, the policy may be renewed. If it isn't renewed, the policy expires. The policy can also be canceled before expiration. If the reason for cancellation is corrected, the policy may be reinstated. If significant changes require replacing the policy, we may use rewrite. And depending on the type of business, the policy may also go through a premium audit. That's the policy lifecycle. There's one important point before we finish. The policy lifecycle isn't always a straight line. Not every policy goes through every transaction. One policy might simply go. submission to issue to renewal. Another might go, submission to policy change to renewal. Another might be, submission to cancellation. And another might be, cancellation to reinstatement. So don't try to memorize one fixed sequence. Instead, understand what each transaction does. Once you understand the purpose of each transaction, you can easily understand where it fits into the policy lifecycle. And if you're a QA engineer or automation engineer, this becomes even more important. Suppose your requirement says, add a new vehicle to an existing policy. Before you start automating the screen, ask yourself, what business transaction am I testing? The answer is policy change. So first, we need an existing policy. Then we start the policy change transaction. We add the vehicle. We process the transaction. And finally, we verify the result. This is why understanding the business process is so important before we start automating the UI.